to be making quick and easy comfort food. This is something you can make literally within about 15 minutes, and it's a main dish that's going to be comforting. It's not going to be too heavy and really easy to make. So it's chicken with brown gravy. It's sort of a southern dish that I have sort of lightened up a little bit and made it a little quicker. So what we're going to start off by doing is I've got some chicken, a large chicken breast here, and actually for 4 people you're going to use 1.5 pounds of chicken, and usually you have these huge chicken breasts. So one chicken breast could be about 3/4 pound, which is what this is. But, you know, I obviously don't need a 3/4 pound chicken breast for one person, plus they take a long time to cook when they're really thick. So, I'm going to get one sheet, I've got a sheet of plastic wrap down. I put my chicken breast on top of that. Now I'm just going to put another plastic wrap sheet right on top. And, get this out of the way, I'm going to start just banging this a little bit. I'm going to flatten it out. So, here we go. Okay, I've got this pretty well flattened out. Now, it's not going to be the perfect shape, but as long as you've got a pretty good thin layer of chicken breast. If you didn't want to do this, you could buy chicken cutlets, but this was organic chicken and it was on sale, so I thought, well, I'll just pound it out myself. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just cut it sort of in an equal piece, because this is going to be 2 servings. So just kind of, you know, one of them is not going to be as perfect looking as the other one, and that's okay. So here's our 2 pieces ready to go. And now what I'm going to do is just season this with some salt. I'm going to get it nice and seasoned. And like I said, if your chicken pieces don't come out perfectly when you cut them, if they're not totally even, that's okay. And even if this, I think this section came out in 2 parts, it's fine. Somebody will just get 2 smaller pieces of chicken, so no big deal. All right, now a little black pepper. And then I'm going to use a little bit of chicken, it's just like a chicken seasoning, but if you have seasoning salt, that's fine. I'm going a little bit lighter on the actual salt because there is some salt in this chicken seasoning, but it's just going to add a little extra flavor to our chicken. Season that well, and then I'm going to set this aside. When I put this in the skillet, I'll go ahead and season the other side, okay? Alright, so we have our chicken seasoned on one side, we've got our onions cut up, I have all of my gravy ingredients here, and I'm just going to get a little bit of oil, not a whole lot, but just a little bit in this skillet. I'm using a cast iron skillet today, which I don't always use, but I think it really browns the chicken really well, and just maintains the heat really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and get this chicken in here. Actually, you might want to have your skillet, make sure it's all the way hot before you put your chicken in there. Do as I say, not as I do. Sometimes I get a little anxious. I just want to get it in there, but I'm starting to hear a little bit of a sizzle. Okay, let me get this plastic wrap out of the way. Alright, and like I said, we want to go ahead and season the other side of our chicken. So what we're going to do is just let this cook for 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how thick your chicken is. Maybe 4 for these. These are a little bit thicker. It's on about medium-high. And then I'm going to mix up my gravy really quick and easy. And I'm doing this a little different. I'm not going to use you know, the butter in the skillet with the flour, how I usually would do a roux. I'm just going to mix everything up in this bowl, and then I'll pour it in there, and it's going to thicken up really easy. So what I have here is 1 cup of 1% milk. You could use 2% milk. I probably wouldn't go with non-fat just because it won't have any richness at all. But this is still low-fat milk. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of flour to this. And as I said, this is half the recipe, so you'll double this for 4. And just get this whisked up really well. You want to make sure there's no lumps in here. You don't want any lumps in your gravy, so you want to get it whisked up really, really well before you put it in that skillet. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to add to this is some Worcestershire sauce. This is always going to give it a lot of flavor, good in gravies. And I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of this. You don't want to be too shy with it because it's really what is going to give the gravy the flavor that it's going to have. And then I like to add a little hot sauce, just a touch. I don't want it to be on fire, but you know, maybe just a teaspoon or so, just to give it a little bit of a kick of heat. Just get that whisked in there. And then how easy is that? That is pretty much your gravy. I'll add some seasonings to it once we get it in the skillet, but that is making your milk gravy for the chicken. Like I said, this is easy, easy comfort food. So let the chicken cook for a few minutes more, and then we'll give it a turn. Okay, now that this side has cooked long enough, I'm just gonna put these on a plate and I'll put them back in the skillet with the gravy so that they'll heat back through. All right, and so we still have a little bit of brown bits here and a little bit of oil. I'm gonna add just a tad more. So probably total you're gonna use maybe a tablespoon of oil for this whole dish, so really not very much. I'm gonna go ahead and get my onions in. I'm just gonna let these soften for several minutes and get nice and golden brown. All right, you can see how our onions have gotten really golden. I've let them brown in the skillet for about 5 or 6 minutes, and they just smell so good. They smell delicious. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my gravy mixture here, and you're gonna be amazed at what you see, okay? Get everything in there. And what's going to happen is this is just going to begin to thicken. I've still got it over about medium heat. I'm just going to stir it, and you can already see it starting to thicken just from that 1 tablespoon of flour we mixed into the milk. Now that looks comforting to me. I don't know about you, but this just looks like comfort food to me. And how easy and how quick is this to make? So just going to let this continue to thicken for a little bit. I am going to add a little thyme to this. I don't have any fresh thyme. I wish I did, or else I would use that. Just a little bit of dried thyme will work. I like to rub it a little bit in my hand just to get the flavor out of it. So adding a little bit of thyme to this. I like to have a lot of black pepper in anything with gravy in it. So does my husband, so we add a lot of black pepper. And just a pinch of salt. And I'll taste this for seasoning as soon as it, reduces down a little bit more, and see if you need any more salt and pepper. This is sort of a taste thing. Okay, so that gravy's been cooking for 2 or 3 minutes, and one of the reasons we continue to cook it is we do want to reduce it, but you also want to cook out that flour taste. So you want to get it on the stove for several minutes and just let it thicken up. All right, I'm putting my chicken back in here. So if by chance your chicken didn't cook all the way through, it's going to have a little more time to cook. And what I like to do is just spoon this gravy all over the top of that chicken and just get it nice and smothered in the gravy. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat down, and I'm going to add just some green. You don't have to add this, but just to make it pretty, I like to add some green onions or parsley, whatever you've got. The green onion is going to give it a nice little spring onion flavor, so it'll freshen it up, make it look pretty. So it may not be the most beautiful dish you've ever seen, but it's going to taste really good. And just a crowd pleaser, great for a quick and easy, comforting dinner. And I think everybody in your family is really going to enjoy it. So if you liked this video and you want to see more, subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you got to do is just click on my picture up there. And also, if you want to see more of my recipes, you can go to my website, aprilmckinney.com. You'll find all of my recipes there and more. So I hope you'll give this a try. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you